Hello guys, welcome to IDSX Live. I'm just going to make that a little less orange for you. Beautiful. So today I'm talking about nihilism and about questioning it. So for those of you who have been following me a bit, I talk a lot about existential angst, and I might not have actually explained that for some of you guys. So basically being an existentialist or existentialism is that any and all things can give life meaning, right? So the angst I've experienced before when it comes to existential angst is like, what is the meaning of life? So welcome to Simon. Hey, how you doing, man? And welcome to the other people who are viewing. Just feel free to say how you doing and how your night is while I continue to talk about this. So, you know, essentially, I got to this point of believing that many different things could give purpose and meaning by essentially, you know, I used to be a hardcore Christian. I even used to preach, and you know, I then expanded that thought and went and looked into other belief systems and went further and further out and found that there were a lot of similarities and a lot of differences between them, and that essentially there were beautiful purposes and meanings to life in many other different kinds of religions. Particularly Taoism caught my eye as having like a platinum rule of do unto others as you would expect them to, as they would expect to be done unto them, rather than do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. So treat other people the way that they want to be treated versus treating the other people how you wanted to be treated. So finding these other belief systems that actually had you know, beliefs that resonated with me as a more moral, purposeful belief system really threw my belief into chaos, because I'm like, if any of these things can be true, then how do we know what purpose is? How do we know what the true meaning of life is? And so as I continued to question, you know, purpose, and welcome Saga onto the cast, as I continued to question purpose, you know, it led me down like a barrel roll of even more, you know, confusion over what is true, what is our real meaning of being here, what is our real purpose. And then it got me to a space of becoming a nihilist, right? So nihilism, which popularized in the 1800s and by Friedrich Nietzsche, is essentially a belief in the ultimate meaninglessness of life. So it's like, well, if any of these can be true, then maybe none of them are true, and it's like, you know, screw it, I don't know what to do. And literally I spent years, and I haven't said this much until now, I spent years being stuck in this nihilism of going, well, frig it all looks like it could be true, so maybe none of it's true. And yeah, so in doing that, ironically, when I was in that space of nihilistic thought, once we're in a nihilistic space and we go, well, there's no real meaninglessness in life ultimately, or there's no meaning in life ultimately, it creates quite a depressive state, because then you've got nothing to live for, and the key to coming out of depression is to put something into your future to live for. And if ultimately we don't have something in our ultimate future to live towards, then it can create quite a depressive state. And being stuck in that loop, the irony is that we don't question that space anymore. We don't question, well, then what if it's not true? What if it's not true that there isn't any meaning to life? So it had me stuck in this essentially like a passive depression about purpose in life, because I didn't feel like questioning that, because I would only healthily question whatever I'm believing if I'm in a healthy space overarchingly, right? So it's kind of like this trap. Nihilism is like this trap that once you're in it, you don't want to question it anymore because you can't be bothered. You can't be asked actually questioning nihilism. At least I certainly wasn't when I was in that space. So fortunately, you know, as the years went by and I started experiencing other things, I just wanted to try anything to sort of experience what could be purpose in a way. I was still looking for purpose, but in a rather haphazard way rather than in a beautiful way. As I was doing that, I did stumble across a lot of happiness and a lot of purpose, what I thought was purpose at the time. And, you know, whether it was in relationships or whether it was in, you know, amazing video games or in you know, business opportunities. And when I got to that space of being healthy and being able to question again, I really came to the point of questioning nihilism and going, well, you know, if there's no predetermined meaning to life, then we can ultimately create our own, right? And it sounds very obvious, but it was very hard to discover at the time for me that, you know, like if there's no idea of what it's going to be, then let's pick something and let's actually be at the core of that and really do some heart searching and maybe some soul searching in the world as well to co-create, sort of bring our will in alignment with the universes towards something that gives us a sense of purpose and at least on a productive level, on a workability level, at least allow us to be productive, happy, healthy members of society. So that had me go through the full journey to essentially still being an existentialist in that anything can give life meaning, but being okay with that and being okay with coming up with my own meaning in concert with what the rest of the universe wants, or my friends, family, my universe, or the universe greater whole, the cosmos, wants for me. Because I don't have a verbal dialogue with the cosmos. I don't hear the voices of God in my head. I heard it once, but so essentially that we don't come with a hard-wired purpose, and therefore. Okay, cool. So we're welcome back. I'm just finishing up now and saying that it's really okay to not have an empirically verified as true purpose for life. If we live for what we experience as true, as the reality itself that we see as true, if we live for that, the thing that we can physically touch, see, be moved by, fall in love with, in a tangible sense, that in and of itself is a beautiful meaning that can carry us through the day and have us live a beautiful, amazing, fulfilled life the whole time. So that's my little spiel on how to deal with nihilism, to question it. I would just encourage you, if you are in a nihilistic space, I would encourage you to take from this that you can question that thing, and that essentially you can create any meaning you want. If you maintain nihilism, you can create any meaning you want and actually get enjoyment and fulfillment from that. So I love your faces. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and listening to this. Feel free to pop any questions below and any kind of suggestions you have for a future Idea Sex Live. And we'll see you soon. Bye.